I've been riding bikes for all my life, and at some stage all of these mistakes have made my rides either inconvenient or just downright miserable. So stay tuned to find out how you can avoid making the same mistakes that I've made and make your rides as productive and as pleasurable as possible, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So mistake number one. This is something I see is most common, I see most of the time. It's incorrect saddle height. Now if your saddle is too low, that could cause you pain on the front of your knee and your quad area because of the excessive force that you're pushing down onto your knee, and your leg isn't getting a chance to extend to relieve that pressure. If it's too high, then you're going to suffer from pain on the back of the leg, your hamstrings, and that's because you're extending too far and you're overreaching every time. And if you think the fact that you're making thousands of pedal strokes during a ride, little niggles add up and start to cause you pain. So what can we do about it? Well, I've got a quick guide to show you how to set the correct saddle height. So to get the correct saddle height, you want to sit on your saddle. You could lean the bike up against a fence, or you could put it onto a turbo trainer if you've got one, and you extend your leg all the way down so the pedal is in the 6 o'clock position. Once you're there, your heel should be, put your heel onto the pedal and your leg should be straight. Okay, so if it's overextending or not touching the pedal, then your seat is too high. If you've got a bend in your knee and your leg is bent, then your seat is too low, so you need to just to put it up a little bit. Once you've done that, you can then note down your saddle height. Just use a tape measure to measure your saddle height and note that down somewhere so you've got a rough idea of the height of your saddle, and if you need to adjust it, you can take it from there. If you are going to adjust it, really small incremental adjustments can make all the difference. We're talking, half a centimetre, something like that. Mistake number two that I see is using the incorrect gear. So what I mean by this is that a lot of people, they pedal too slow. Their cadence is too slow. Your cadence is the speed at which you turn the pedals over. And if you've got into a low gear, like a grinding gear, then you're going to be pushing on the pedals too hard just to make the bike go forward. And what this can do is it just exhausts you, and it exhausts your legs as well. So instead of grinding, we use a term called spinning, which means you're spinning the wheels quite fast. So to give you a guide, a slow cadence around of about 55 to 65 RPM, that's revolutions per minute. That's going to be a slow. You're going to be grinding, you're going to be, labouring to turn the pedals over. Your legs are going to get tired quite quickly. A bit of context, this is what 65 RPM looks like in terms of cadence. So it's fairly slow, it's laboured, and it's quite hard to turn the pedals over and working quite hard. So by comparison, we'll then switch up to 90 and see the difference. So this is spinning now at around about 90 RPM. A little less in terms of resistance, and the legs are going a lot faster. So this is more the cadence that you want to be pedaling at. Now, there's different ways of measuring this. The easiest way is to have a bike computer. A lot of bike computers nowadays, you can get them quite cheap. They will measure your cadence. You just put a little sensor onto the pedal, and you can measure gives you your revolutions per minute. The old-fashioned way of doing it is just counting how many strokes, how many times your pedal goes round. So starting at the 12 o'clock position, you can count how many times in a minute your foot goes round the full revolution of those. You can do that. It's a little bit time consuming, I can't lie. I'd much prefer to use a bike computer. Okay, mistake number three is basic bike maintenance. So you don't have to be a Tour de France bicycle mechanic, but you need to be carrying out some basic maintenance before you ride, just so that you're safe, really. You should know a few basic things before you go out on the road. So I've actually done a video around a pre-ride check. You can take a look at that. But the basics are check that your brakes work, check that your tyres are pumped up to the correct pressure, and also that your quick releases are done up front and back. Just you don't want to have any mishaps while you're out on the road. You should also really know how to change an inner tube. I always carry spare tubes with me on a ride. There's nothing worse than getting a puncture and having to either get a taxi or walk home. So knowing those things is going to go a long way to making you safer on the road, but also making it more enjoyable. Mistake number 4. I was doing this for a while actually, and it's to do with your clothing, and it is wearing your underwear underneath your bike shorts. So whether you've got cycling shorts on or you've got the bib style shorts on, they're not supposed to be worn with underpants. It's just, you're just not, all right? Just believe me. I've done it, okay, and yeah, you can get chafing and sweaty. The pads that are in the cycling shorts and the bib shorts, they are designed to be worn next to the skin, so they will soak up any of the sweat and things like that and minimize the chafage, and you'll be a lot more comfortable if you don't wear your underwear, and it'll actually save you a clean pair of underwear as well. So don't be wearing your underpants under your bike shorts. Mistake number 5 is incorrect fueling and hydration when you're on the bike, either too much or not enough. Now I've had a few times where I've run out of energy on the bike. It's called bonking in cycling terms, and it is awful. I went out for a ride. I was only supposed to be out for about an hour, and I was having a great time, so I extended it a little bit longer, and I was out for about 3 hours, but then I kind of hit the wall. My legs I was going uphill and my legs just gave way. I just could not go on. I just had to get off the bike and I had to sit by the side of the road with my bike. It was awful because I just didn't have any energy. I walked for a bit and I slowly got, you know, some energy back up just to get back on and just turn the pedals over to get me back home. But yeah, I don't ever want to go through that again. So I say not enough is one thing, but also having too much is a thing as well. So you don't want to be eating loads and loads and then going on the bike, right? It'll just be uncomfortable and your stomach won't thank you for that either. So as a rule of thumb, around about the hour mark, I always take out a bottle with me anyway. Whenever I go out, I have a bottle with water in or some hydration tablets in it. But the hour mark, I'm not too bothered. If I'm going out for over an hour, then I will take some fuel with me in the guise of I don't really like gels, so I'll take a wrap, a peanut butter and banana wrap, something like that, just to give me a little bit of fuel. You can always stop as well at the cafe. That's no big deal, but it's something to bear in mind. You know, you fuel up beforehand with some slow release carbs, and if you're going over an hour, take something with you and take a drink with you. Don't eat loads and loads, and if you drink too much before you go out on the bike, you're going to need to stop and have a wee as well.